All right, welcome to Movie Night Mad Libs with your host
T. Kyla, TK.
But I'm Kurt, her dad, and we just love watching movies and we give our opinion about them. Tonight we're gonna talk about
Mean Girls.
Oh.
Yeah. Mean Girls, the 2020, I think it came out 2023. No, it was 2024.
Okay.
The Mean Girls 2024 adaptation.
Now, tell everybody this was based on the musical.
This was based on the musical.
Okay, give everybody backdrop about this Mean Girls.
This Mean Girls is based off the Broadway musical Mean Girls, which was obviously based off the movie Mean Girls that came out in like the early 2000s, I think.
Okay.
So it was like a musical that should have been on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a theater major, at DSA.
Say it. You can say it out loud. You can't whispering that.
At DSA, I felt like so I had to watch it twice to understand it, kind of. Because the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this is really good, but I really, really only watched it for the music and not to like watch it.
Okay.
And after I watched it the second time, I actually started seeing stuff, and I was like, and I cringed a little.
Okay, so what was the cringe moment? You can't just skip over that.
I think the cringe moments for me was like them trying to add in Gen Z slang, and I hate when like it doesn't feel natural sometimes. Yeah. Like just adding in like they added in random times, and it doesn't make sense. So I was like, and I'm like, this is not how like we actually act as a whole generation. I was like, this is what y'all think we act like. This is not how we act in high school. Now, some of the high schoolers did look like high schoolers that you would see in high school, but I was like,
well, I saw the original Mean Girls. Right, I'm a movie buff.
And I saw both.
And I saw this one, and I thought they did a good job adapting this one with a musical. Now, I can tell you this: I'm not a huge fan of musicals. Right? I think that musicals are reserved for the plays. I am a huge fan of plays, right? I like them in those settings. I like it when it's a person one to one. You know what I'm saying? And you got a theater of people to kind of entertain. I feel like that's the form for it. Movies, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. It's like we just talked about Wonka, right?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Now, in this movie, I gotta admit, they did a good job of incorporating music, but it took way too many musical breaks. It kind of takes me out of the movie. You know, when all those musical breaks happen. But I think they did a really good job of adapting the movie into a musical, and that probably helped that Tina Fey, who originally wrote Mean Girls, was a part of both the play and the movie, and both movies. You know what I'm saying? To kind of help keep things consistent, right? So on my watch of this, I'm not a big fan of musicals, so I guess it's a little biased, you know, but it was okay to me.
I've seen the movie, the musical. I've seen the movie, the musical, and I've seen this one. I feel like they were trying to incorporate both the musical and the movie into two, and the musical obviously because it's on stage, it kind of like tracks away from the movie because like there's different things that come into play. So they was like trying to push those together, and I don't think it really did it good. Like it just felt like because like they had some actors in there who couldn't sing. Like they said in audition, like I can't sing. So I was like, okay, this is a musical. Why are you here?
Well, some actors are there to act.
Yeah, but
you get what I'm saying. Some actors aren't there to sing; they're there to act. That's the difference between the movies and the play.
I saw and I was like, oh, because there was like I was like, okay, somebody could offset this with like, but it was like, and I'm like,
so let me pass the bucket on that because I would have to say for this Gen Z, Gen whatever, everybody like to label them with letters, numbers, and what have you. I did feel like the little updates that they did were like appropriate for the times. How they utilize social media to kind of show embarrassment spreading virally, and you know what I'm saying. Some of those things that probably high school students and stuff deal with now, right? But but it's a musical. So it continued to break me out of it when the song played, especially those songs that had a long lead in. I was not a fan
Oh
of it.
yeah.
Okay. So
I think I know which one you were talking about.
are we? Let's get to the rubric. Let's get to the rubric on this one. Let's get to the rubric on this one.
So I'm gonna go to the rubric. Okay, so we're gonna start with plot.
Plot.
For plot, I give this one. Let's see. Let me think about it because I was like, I was teetering a little bit because I saw it twice and I'm like, oh, I think I like this, but then I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I give it a 3.
Great plot.
Yeah, 3.5. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. It was it came together a little bit, but like it was just kind of I didn't understand most of it. Like I got the gist, but it wasn't like it fully collaborated with each other.
And that's interesting to hear because this movie is written about teenage women and them dealing with like body positivity and identity issues. I thought you were graded higher, but again, a bias, right?
Yeah.
Probably was wrong for that. I probably was wrong for that. It's okay. It's okay. I could be wrong.
I
At the same
felt
time,
like I think they were stuck in like the Y2K version.
it didn't feel.
Yeah, it didn't feel like because now.
It was in this era.
Yeah, cause like they put the Y2K with some technology in this era.
Uh-huh.
That's what it felt like. Cause now when people like you see like now you see people get bullied over their bodies, but it's in a different way.
Okay.
Like it's not that straight out like oh she looks like this, she looks like this. It's like now girls are nice to you.
Oh, it's more subtle.
Yeah, it's like oh I like you, but I don't like it's like hidden.
It's passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So, for me, the plot is definitely a hard two. I am a dude and a dad again. So for the themes for me, right, it did feel like a teenage movie. You know, it felt like the plot was really, I don't want to say infantile because I think Tina Fey and them did a really good job of writing that movie, but I just don't think I was the demographic for that movie, right? And that's where my score come in because the plot is, you know what I'm saying? Popularity. I don't get the
people
Burn.
only care about
The Burn book.
That
like,
was really
for
like
real?
that era because like people don't care about that stuff anymore.
Yeah. So for me, it was just like okay, but overall, as a movie watcher and as a cinemaphile and you know what I'm saying, film buff, I thought they did a really good job of writing that and they incorporated the music. Okay, I just don't like musicals. Go ahead.
So next is actors' performance. I think the actors did really good. Well, so I really would give that a 4. I think a 4, cause I say some actors did really good and some just felt off-putting a little bit, and it was like I really loved Renee Rapp and I don't know how to pronounce her name, but the girl who played Moana, Janice.
Yeah.
I really liked them.
Yeah.
Their characters. I feel like they did their characters really good. And a lot of other actors, but you still saw like it was kind of awkward with some of the like less experienced actors in the film. And you saw it shine through.
Yeah, I agree. Like for me, I give the acting a hard 3 because the ones who could sing, but then there was some scenes you could tell that they didn't write a lot of dialogue for, and they had them sing mostly because they couldn't act. And then the actors, they gave them some dialogue that kind of was jammed in there, but when the song came up, you know what I'm saying, it felt awkward when the switch happened.
Yeah.
Or the song was cut to make it a certain thing or a certain way to make it more appropriate for the non-singing actors.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna give it a 3. But again, this was a teenage movie. I think the demographic for this one was really like what 16 to 20.
Yeah, probably like the people
16 to
who used
20.
To see, who like saw Mean Girls was from like 2000s. It was like
Them probably too. I get that, but I'm talking about like even for now.
yeah, so
You know,
probably like high schoolers
more
and
so
like a little bit of middle schoolers.
upper middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, yeah, I felt like the acting was like it felt like Disney acting.
A little bit.
Okay.
I'd say new Disney acting.
New Disney acting.
Because
Okay.
old Disney actors were like.
You thought they could act?
Most of old Disney actors could.
No, that was their training, bro. Like, they couldn't. And when they could, they left Disney and went to real movies. Okay, but no. Nothing on Disney. Nickelodeon was like. Some of those are my favorite, and I give it up to the kids and some of my contemporaries, like and all that and stuff like that. I really appreciate them, but it wasn't good acting. It was kids learning to act. So let's just keep that real. And I think this was what this was. These were some of these kids learning to act, and some of the stage performers who are used to just performing this on stage, being able to get on film and do that thing on film. So what's the next one?
The next one is Technicality.
I thought it was good. The set pieces were awesome.
Yeah, I give that like I'd say a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 4 too. I think I agree with you.
Cause it wasn't like big set pieces that
It
you
wasn't.
saw. Like they had some like moving parts, but like it wasn't like the garage. Like the first scene, the garage part. I like how they did that, but that was like the only really big set piece they did. And I feel like that's what they mostly used everything on, like set wise. And I was like, they could have did a little more, but I still loved it.
I still loved it just because I think they got the costumes right, like the outfits and everything was good.
That felt like a teenager.
I felt like
Much of it.
when they did the musical portions, and when I talk about the set pieces, the cameras, and the way they chose to shoot it was also really awesome to me. I mean, we'll get to that, but I thought that went into that. So yeah, I get out of 4 too. I agree with you.
Next is watchability. That is a 3. Like I feel like it was entertaining to watch at first because I wanted to watch it so bad, and then I was like, oh, let me try to watch it again, and I was like, I would not watch this. Like I would probably not watch this a third time.
Well, you watched it twice already.
Yeah, and I was like, I probably would not watch this.
I watched it 1.5 times because when I started it, I couldn't get through it. And then I had to get through it because I knew we were going to review it here today. So I would say watchability for me was, if I can't give it a 0 and I got to give it a 1, I would give it a 1 again. And I'm not going to knock the movie from this perspective, right? I'm going to just say that this is not my demographic, right? This movie is not meant for me, So I would not watch this movie a second time, right? I mean, unless somebody was asking me to do an essay on it.
Next is visuals. So like the camera. I feel like that kind of. So I would get out of 4 too, because like the technicality, and I like how like I saw some behind the scenes action. Like I didn't see it personally, but like I saw some people do it, and I was like, oh, they use a lot of push camera movement, and you like kind of saw that in the film. But I was like, oh, I like how they like that. It was really good how they filmed it. Like, cause the camera angles and the camera breakdowns, it was like really good.
I mean, I'm gonna grade that in the middle too. I'm gonna get out of middle of the road 3, because it was a really easy movie to shoot, other than just the musical parts. You know what? I give it a 3.5 because the musical parts was real difficult. It was very difficult to kind of shoot and pull off some of those things. So yeah.
So the next movie.
The next area.
So that's it. That's all for the rubber.
So hold on, wait a minute. What's our overall vote? So overall, the movie gets a what?
The movie gets, for me at least, overall the movie gets I say a 3. It's in the middle.
I would agree. Overall, this movie gets a 3.
It's in the middle.
If it's free, check it out.
It's free. It's on Paramount.
Don't
if you have
buy,
Paramount
don't go rent the app. Wait till it come on your TV or Xfinity give you a free week. to check it out. You know what I'm saying? If that's something that you want to do. If you got little girls, you know what I'm saying, you might want to show them the movie. Yeah. But even then, you know, if you got an hour to burn and ain't nothing on TV, check it out.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching Movie Mad Libs with.
I'm sorry. I forgot my name. Come on.
Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching Movie Mad Libs with.
You ain't supposed to start with me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching Movie Mad Libs with Tequila, TK, and
her dad, Kurt. I gotta come up with a cool name. Because Kurt just don't land.
Yeah,
like
it
TK.
does.
What about CB? No.
I mean,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
What's the V?
Yeah, what's the V for?
The V?
I said CB.
Oh. You might as well add the W. You can do your middle name.
Okay, let's do it again. Now she got me started. Now I got it. Go ahead.
Okay.